Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here, playing some more Pathfinder. I'm about to finish the last scenario of the Skin Saw Murders. At least, I'm hoping to finish it. I might possibly lose. That would be my first time losing. It'd be so sad. This is currently the last scenario that is available to be played. So after this, I'll be starting my Rejects 5-player series. Unless, of course, you're in the future, in which case, go to hell. So in this scenario, we actually have a really interesting rule. There's a location called the Shadow Clock. This is the only scenario I think that the Shadow Clock ever appears in. And if someone isn't there at the end of any turn, then we lose a blessing from the blessings deck. So basically, you have to keep somebody at the Shadow Clock until it's closed. And we'll see what that is in a moment. The villain's nothing super fancy, just two pretty difficult checks. Nothing fancy going on there. And then the henchman, there's one that can't be attacked by combat spells, so your casters have to watch out. But all the other ones are really pretty straightforward, so there's really... these are actually pretty easy henchmen. They don't deal damage, they just bury one card from your deck. So I guess they have a high combat check. It's 14 unless you can make a Wisdom 7. So it's, hard combat, but they don't deal damage, so it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, let's take a look at the Shadow Clock, or the Shadow Tower. There it is. So it's a really difficult location. At the start of your turn, you have to recharge your whole hand and draw up to your hand size. And then the closing is Banish an Ally. Now, it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for this text, Banish an Ally. So you cannot save an ally to close it because obviously your whole hand gets recharged. So ideally, you want somebody with disposable allies who doesn't mind having their hand recharged. So prime candidates for that would be Ezran. He's got a big hand size, and he's got 2 sages that he wouldn't mind banishing. Ezran also does have, in this party, Shalelu and Asana, who I definitely don't want to banish. If I were really metagaming things, I would have, in preparation for this scenario, put her in someone else's deck, and then just given Ezran nothing but basic allies. Amiri is also not bad. Amiri has a 5-card hand size. I think all of her allies are dispensable, but there's only 2 of them in her deck as opposed to 3, so it's kind of tricky. The other thing about this Shadow Clock is that if you spend cards out of turn, you basically start with a full hand size because you don't draw the number of cards you recharge. You draw up to your hand size. So someone like Harsk, for example, could sit at this tower and just fire all of his arrows and still have a full hand. So there's some interesting strategic things that you could do. Harsk, of course, not the greatest because he only has 1 ally in his deck. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and put Ezra in here. I feel like that's the best shot. A lot of other things kind of take care of themselves here. Linny loves the temple. Sela is the only one who can handle the Shrine of Lamashtu. Amiri will start there as well. Then the mill is a check that Riziel can close. We have the frickin' waterfront again. I'm so sick of that location. I hate that place. That's probably where Amiri's going to go. Now, Harsk can't really do charisma or diplomacy, but he does have a potion of glibness. He's not the greatest at wisdom or divine either, so I guess he's going to go here, and we'll have Amiri kind of suffer at the waterfront. The Desecrated Vault is a good location for Linny or for Sela to go to if they can close one of their locations early on. Alrighty, let's start this party. So Amiri does have 2 weapons. Does Sela have any? She does not. This is a blessing. It's a promo blessing. It's not a sword. So we're going to go ahead and give Sela one of these cards. They're both pretty much the same, actually. One is piercing, one is blunt, but other than that, it doesn't actually make a difference. And then Amiri will go suffer at the waterfront. Okay. So we have a large chest here. Very interesting. I could try to get these 1d4 new weapons. The question is, how badly do I need weapons? Am I really willing to spend a resource on this? Note the Troubadour is highlighted, but I can't use it, because that would make this a dexterity check, and I'd lose my big static bonus. Yeah, I'm not going to spend resources on this. I don't actually care about it enough. I think everyone's got pretty good weapons already. I got a pretty good roll, and made it anyhow, but I wasn't going to be that bothered if I didn't. So we have a spear, a longbow, and a short sword. Thanks, game. Well, that's actually pretty good, because what I can do now is I can discard these junk weapons to explore again at the waterfront. Plague zombie. Okay. So I've learned my lesson. I do want to reveal things. Now we'll have Harsk shoot an arrow. Oh, hey, Harsk got his potion of glibness. Alright, so he's going to, I think, head over to the throne room. Or what? Yeah, the throne room, which is the place that has a diplomacy check. Alright, do I want to discard 2 more cards? I only have a 1 junk card here, the short sword. So, I messed up. I should have actually discarded the Troubadour first, then used Staff of Healing, because now when I use Staff of Healing, I have a good chance of getting a junky card back into the deck, as opposed to the ally. But that's a minor misplay. Let's keep on going here. Goblin Warrior, alright. I think I'm actually just going to bury this short sword, since I don't have anything to, I don't have anything else to discard alongside it to get an extra exploration from the waterfront, so I might as well just use it up here. Alright, let's use a Staff of Minor Healing. What did I get back? Something junky. I think it was a short bow. Okay, do I want to explore again with the Blessing of Torag? The problem is, if I do encounter the henchman and then kill it, then the bandit henchman's going to make me recharge my Warhammer. Although, I'm going to lose the Warhammer anyhow because of the Waterfront's ability. So you know what? F it. We're just going to go ahead and keep on trucking here. I've got a soldier. Decent odds of picking this guy up. And I don't roll awfully, which is great. So we get an extra exploration. And there's the Charmed Faceless Stalker. So I think what I'm going to do is discard the Warhammer. Basically, the Bandit Henchman's going to make me recharge this thing. So I might as well just discard it. I do need some help. Oh my god, I bet Ezran has the strength spell. No, he has Toxic Cloud. Yeah, good enough. I'm still gonna do it. That would have been good to play earlier, because I could have used it on all the other combats I had here. So, it was a mistake not to play that earlier. Oh my god, I actually failed. Wow. Wow. 5 dice couldn't roll a 12. Well, that's sad. Shittlesticks. So that's gonna delay my progress through the waterfront. Man, everything was so perfect, too. Because I had no cards to discard to the waterfront. Damn everything. Alright, 1 second, hang on. So it's Sila's turn here. Ezran's holding Augury, though. He should really use that before his turn comes up, because otherwise it's going to get recharged away. Oh, wow. Alright, well, we lost a little bit of time on the waterfront, but at least the henchman is right at the top of this place. Alrighty, let's do this thing. So I'm not going to make this wisdom check. I don't think that's worth it. Though, of course, if Amiri had made her wisdom check, she would have succeeded. That 2 penalty made the difference. Ugh, disgusting. Alright, Horst, do you have anything left to shoot? Okay, so you're kind of running out of arrows here, but... see, she needs to roll a 7 on those 3 dice. Well, we've learned our lesson, haven't we, kids? Haven't we? Nope. There. Okay. Lost a sage. This should be fine, though. I need a 7 on those dice. Alright, Sila gets the job done. And now to close this, this Blessing of Zaron Gel is really not that good. So I could just banish it. But honestly, I'm pretty likely to just make it if I simply discard it. Let's just go ahead and peel off another card. And yes, unless I roll Snake Eyes, 3 of them, I'm going to succeed. Alright, do I want to banish a blessing to add a new blessing into my hand? I don't think so. So before we do anything else, Azrin, can you please play Augury? Thank you very much. Let's look for monsters. You could do barriers because there are 3 barriers in this place, which is kind of a lot of barriers. Alright, well, I get a free exploration out of it. I'll take it. And let's try to recharge this thing. Note that you don't want to use Expanded Spellbook because that card will get recharged if you pick it up. And, well, I guess I'll take a look at what's coming up. I could recharge away invisibility. Do I want to recharge away invisibility? If I encounter the villain, that would be bad. But anything else, I don't really want it. So yes, I will pick it up just so I can recharge it. To the Shadow Clock. Alright. Oh, there's story. So yeah, please read the story. It's really fun. There's a lot of really cool stuff, especially in Deck 2. I think Deck 2 is where they outdid themselves, story-wise. But for the purpose of the videos, I'm not going to. So we have a sage in hand, ready to be banished to close the location. God, Jesus. Alright, this is awkward. Well, Amiri's got both of her armors, so I can just go ahead and not give a crap. Barely made it. That's good. Ezran himself, what's he gonna do? I guess Acid Arrow? I do have an Amulet of Life, so I don't care that much if I fail. So the nice thing about these healing items is you can basically use them to not have to spend resources. Harsk is running a little low on arrows in his quiver, so he is someone I would like to preserve if possible. Well, why is there a face-up card in my deck? Oh, I guess because I know that that's what that is. It's cool that the game keeps track, I guess. Do I need to... Oh my god, hold on, hold on. I actually have to defeat all these zombies. Whoops. That was very, very foolish of me to roll loosely with Amiri and Ezrin, because if either of them had failed, it wasn't just about damage, it was about failing this check. Oh boy. Okay, well, why doesn't Ezrin play strength here on... Wait a minute, let me see, what does Linny have? Oh, Linny doesn't have a combat spell, so I'm going to save strength for her. So for Maurizio, here, let's, what do we want to get rid of? Jeez. I guess I could just get rid of the amulet itself. Nah, let's get rid of the Zahedron. Medallion. And Harsk will fire the Thieves' Tools, which I'm not too jazzed about, but I feel like it's gotta happen. So 9 on those 5 dice. Okay, didn't need Harsk's help. So now it's gonna be tricky. Harsk himself should have no problems with this. Yes, he only fails on Snake Eyes. Deathbane Light Crossbow, the fan favorite, adding that extra d8 for the zombie. But Linny, this is a problem. So here we go. Ezrin busts out some strength. Linny needs a 6 on her dice. Does anybody have like a Blessing of the Gods? Yes, Amiri does. So let's bury this. So I need to roll a 6 on 4d4. It's a bit loose. It's a bit loosey-goosey. Gosh, I would hate to fail this thing just because... Yeah, alright. We're going to go ahead and discard the Crow to get d10s instead of d4s, and then make the same check. Okay, that was kind of foolish of me to take that risk. Oh yes, Quarterstaff. I already knew that. Alrighty, so... Do I want to play Spyglass? Nah, I'm just going to haste in there. Blacksmith's Son. Oh, God! Damn it. Alright, this is bad. I don't think I can actually beat this thing. I don't have Thieves' Tools, and Constitution is a d4. It would take an unseasonable number of blessings for me to get past this thing. So I'm going to lose... So my turn ends if I fail, and I also then have to do that Yethhound. Alright, you know what? We're just going balls to the walls Dickens here. Guess we'll just play a blessing from everybody. Try to get past this. It feels bad, man, but I just... Oh, wait a minute. I have a blessing of Yabba Dabba Doo. Somebody can save their blessing. Why don't you hold on to yours, Sela? 5 d4s to hit an 8 should be fine. So the blessing of Abadar to give 2 dice against barriers was very good there. Guess we got an extra exploration. Man, oh, I still don't have the ability to pick up this Quarterstaff. I guess I really should have Spyglassed first, and maybe had somebody come in there to take out to do like a tactical strike on the Blacksmith's Son. Alright, well, alright, fine. I guess I'll learn from my mistakes. Spyglass, now... Shortbow and Spectre. Well... let's see. I would have to discard my Sage. I don't want to discard my Sage because I need to keep the Sage in my rotation so I can close the location with it. I don't really want to discard Sages. So... I guess we'll put the Shortbow first. And then that way, if I don't get a combat spell, I can just explore the Shortbow. Of course, then I'm going to have to face the Spectre eventually. I don't know. I'm not sure if I made the right call. Okay, so Maurizio Christmas here. Fights a zombie. Jeez. Alright, so let's reveal this. Let's discard my armor. And 10 on these 4 dice. Bit dicey, to say the least. I could shoot off my Potion of Glibness, but I'd like to hang on to that. Alright, we're just going to take a loose roll here. Wow. Alright, that was close. And, alright, surely she's not going to find any more monsters. I mean, there's only 2 more left in this place. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Give me that battered wooden shield. Where have you been all my life, Batty? I am not concerned enough about my health to keep that shield. I really just want to find a weapon. Okay, there we go. Okay, Linny at the temple. Her hand has taken a bit of a hit here with these goings-on that happened before her turn, but she does pick up a blessing. There's no constitution checks here. This one is actually... Oh, yep, nope, it was an auto-succeed. I did not need my toad, but that's fine. Of course, if she finds another henchman, it would be pretty annoying, but hoping the henchman's near the bottom. Longsword, Lynn doesn't mind finding weapons because she can use them, but this one makes the check harder by 4, so I'm not sure it's worth it. Allying Dart, now this does not require a weapon proficiency. So right now, to roll a 6 on those 2 dice is a bit loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to discard the longsword to make my d6 a d10, just to improve my odds a little bit. I would really not mind picking up this weapon, and who knows, maybe that made the difference. Alright, spend my last blessing to keep exploring. Well, I've got a weapon now, so I think it makes sense now. Consecration. Oh, this is actually really good, because it gives us some extra turns. Let's see, how many blessings do I have here? I have 5 blessings, so I can get 5 extra turns. So that by burying them all, of course, I lose the potential to cure them later. This might be like a trap, honestly. But, alright, we'll do this. Let's get rid of... We'll hedge my bets. We'll do like 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 extra turns in this scenario, but I will keep 2 blessings in my discard to get those extra... to get the cure value. Okay, so we made it halfway through the temple. I'll keep a weapon in my hand. That should be fine. Alright, Harsk at the city gate. Oh no, I should have moved over. I should have moved over to the other place. Damn it. So now I can use the Potion of Glibness to pick up Sheriff Hemlock and get an extra exploration. Mariziel is at the mill. She's really good at acrobatics, but she has the Crown of Charisma. Harsk could go over here. He's not quite as good at dexterity and acrobatics 8 checks. He has a d8 plus 3. He'd have to play at least 1 blessing. Yeah, I think I should keep her there. So I do think I want to save this Potion of Glibness so that he can close the throne room. I really shouldn't have explored here, though. That was a mistake. I needed to have remembered to move. So a bit of a wasted opportunity there. But anyway, let's see what was coming up next. It was a Skin Star ritual. Not too bad. It's a swarm barrier, but only at that location. Okay. So Amiris, she's still going through the waterfront? I guess so. Alright. Well, I got lucky. The henchman ended up at the top again. So that was nice. Now let's... bring out the glaive. I don't need 2 armors. Harsk, and you shall receive. And anybody have any free thing? We got a Toxic Cloud? Alright, let's do a Toxic Cloud. So I need a 13 on these dice. It's gotta be possible. Come on. Alright, there we go. That's the spirit. Now, unfortunately, what's going to happen is I have to recharge this, and then I'm going to discard my glaive. So you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to bury the glaive. If I'm going to have to discard it anyway, I don't care. Of course, Amiri is like close to dead, so at some point she's going to need to get some healing. Let's see, a 9 on 4 dice, 2 d10s and a d12. Yeah, this should be fine. Alright, so at least I beat the waterfront. I don't have to discard a card because I don't have any cards left in my hand. Now we've closed, I think, 2 locations now. Sela. Where's Sela? Sela's at a closed location, so we should definitely go somewhere. Why don't we go to the Desecrated Vault? There's a 50-50 shot that she's going to scout a monster, but one of those is the henchman. So I'll take it, since that's one of the biggest locations left. Okay, so Amiri's got some weapons back. And we got a hill giant here. Damn. Alright, well, what are you going to do? I guess you're going to fight a hill giant. So let's do that, and let's peel a card. Hopefully I don't lose my cure. Good times. Harsk shoots an arrow. And Amiri definitely doesn't want to spend any blessings with only 3 cards left in her deck. I need to roll an 8 here. It's actually not that bad. I'm just going to roll. It's 2 per die, and 2 of the dice are d8, so I'm in pretty good shape. Alright, Standard Bearer is not needed in this location, so I'm going to keep on trucking. Masterwork Tools. Well, this is a shame. It would be nice to have another Masterwork Tools. Sela's the worst person to get them, but I'm going to try. Anybody got Agility? Nope. And nope. No, of course not. Okay, well, yeah, each one needs to be a 2 and I'll be good. Alright, I'll actually hang on to them because she does have 1 barrier waiting for her here, but I will recharge the magic half-plate. Hey, wow, that was timely. Normally, Slashing Blade would be an awful thing for Sela to find, but now she can just Masterwork Tools it. Why does Sela have Chainmail? Oh, right, because I gave Ezrin the Belvin Breastplate, and then he ended up banishing it. Right, that was sad. No, I forgot to Augury. Well, I didn't actually really want to Augury, did I? Because I've already Auguried. I have already augured. Okay, so we're good now. I wish I had those Thieves' Tools earlier. So there's the short bow. And at this point, I guess I should just go ahead and do Shalelu, because I don't want to banish her to to close the Shadow Clock, and I want her out of my deck so that my other allies come back around more quickly. All right, I need a 6 on these dice. I don't really see the need to take chances. Let's just pop an arrow to make that really safe. And again, I don't want to discard my Sage, because then it would make it harder for me to close the Shadow Clock. Ooh, actually fail the recharge. That's a bit sad. Let's take a look here. So we got 5 cards left. 4 of the cards I don't know about. Toxic Cloud. I actually don't want to pick this up. I don't want it to get... Oh no, I'm stupid! My turn is ending. You recharge at the start of your turn. I definitely messed up. I should have absolutely picked up Toxic Cloud so that it was available for me to use. Oh right, I get it anyway, because it's the end of my turn. Righty-ho. Alright, let's do this. 1 to Force Missile, complete junk, and I could spend a Blessing of Blemish 2 to explore, but I'm actually doing fine on time, especially because of that Consecration that Sela found. So I don't see any need to rush here. Let's hang on to the Blessings. I could use them. Okay, Augury, this isn't the best place to Augury. There is a 60% chance I find the Henchman, but let's explore once first. Fire Weapon. Don't really like this this card very much. Adding a D4 in the Fire trait. I mean, in later scenarios, the Fire trait does become useful, but right now it's just kind of minimal. And spell slots are at a premium. Alright, well, the Henchman is what was next. It's fine knowing that. Do I want to spend a blessing to encounter him? I actually have a pretty decent shot at killing him. I've got the fire weapon and my dart, and of course my toad. But you know what? I'm not in a rush. I'm doing good on time. I don't want to lose that blessing for no reason. So let's just pass on to Harsk. All right, skin saw ritual. No, wait, God, I gotta remember this. You're going to the throne room. Need to use your potion of glibness, buddy. All right, here we go. Superior half plates. More like superior, I don't give a damn. Anyway, let's send the turn. Scout it up. Treasure map. That's actually not bad. There is a good concentration of boons at this location. He did not pick up his Thieves' Tools. Alright, we're gonna see. Who has Thieves' Tools? Oh, wait a minute. Amiri doesn't even want to be here. What is she wants to do? Oh, yes, she would like to go to the city gate. But this is stupid. Amiri is much better at doing... No, Amiri doesn't want to do the Desecrated Vault because she can't close it. Well, I could just have her beat the treasure map with her Thieves' Tools. And, yeah, why don't we do that? Someone else might have been able to come around, but this is a pretty good use of her time. So let's discard Thieves' Tools. Alright, I'm down to 2 cards in my deck, so some, like, automatic damage thing could actually kill Amiri. Alright, well, it's good to know that there's the henchman right there, so Harsk can take care of that with his potion of glibness. He's got 2 of those damn things, so might as well use one up. Sela knows what the next card in her deck is. She's already scouted it, so let's go ahead and have her scout here. Oh, wait, did Harsk already... No! Harsk already scouted that? God darn it. I messed up so bad. I should have taken her, well, pretty much anywhere else. Although, you know, it's kind of tricky, because I've already scouted the throne room. The temple costs a card. This place we already knew. The mill, it would get in Murziel's way. And then the shadow clock would mess them all up. Yeah, I guess there really wasn't any good place to send Sela. Alright, so, does she want to do the Skin Soul Ritual? I think Amiri can handle that. Why doesn't she go to the Desecrated Vault and actually put these Masterwork tools to good use on the Slashing Blade? Recharge. And I'm going to recharge my Magic Chainmail for sure. Oh, hey! Villain! Sitting there chilling. Alright, well, I'm not going to attack the villain, of course. That would be a little bit pointless. So now we can set the trap. Oh yeah, I forgot to use Toxic Cloud. I'm sure somebody fought something I could have used a Toxic Cloud on. Alright, there's the Sage. I'm ready to close this place. Oh, I've only got 5 cards left in my deck. Nice, nice. Alright, so I have a 75% chance of finding the Henchman, but if I don't find the Henchman, it's going to shuffle up the Yeth Hounds. I think I might want to explore first. Blast Stone. Alright, and now we're going to Augury. Now that it's guaranteed that I can stick the Henchman on top. Okay, so I get to avoid a collapsed ceiling, which is really good, because that was the next card. Really glad that I don't have to deal with that. Okay, so I could discard the Sage to explore again and fight the Henchman. That would be very bad, because then I would not have an ally with which to close the location. So, Let's see, do I want to pick up a card? No, because then I would be over my hand limit. So, yeah, we're going to end the turn. Okay, so Ezran's about to close that place up. There's a henchman. Fan fiddly diddly do. Now, let's do the crossbow. Let's discard the amulet because I don't need it anymore. Harsk's got a bunch of crap. Let's fire up his armor. What do I need? A 9 on 5 dice? Should be fine. Yep, in fact, my d12 by itself would have taken care of it. And let's close this place. So it's not an auto-succeed. Anybody got agility? Nope. Toxic Cloud? Why is Toxic Cloud highlighted? That actually doesn't work right here. Okay. Bless you. I guess Sela will just play a blessing here, and as long as I don't get Snake Eyes, I'm good. 1 in 144 odds. I actually have seen someone fail a check. It was in I still remember this to this day. It was the second scenario my 6-player group ever played. Mariziel was trying to close, or was trying to kill the poisoned trap henchman in the poison pill. Scenario number 2. Ooh, Snake Eyes, 1 in 40. Luckily, I still succeed. And she chose to reveal Thieves' Tools instead of discarding them. Wait, what is happening? Oh, I picked the wrong ability. She chose to reveal Thieves' Tools instead of discarding them. And she rolled 2d12, thinking she only had 1 in 144 odds of failing. And of course, she rolled Snake Eyes on 2d12s. Everybody gasped. We still won the scenario, but she really regretted not having discarded those Thieves' Tools. Alright, I think I'm going to just play Toxic Cloud. What? Hang on a second. I need a 9 on 5 dice. Yeah, you know what? I've definitely failed worse. Let's just do this. And that extra d6 might have been the difference between tying and succeeding by a margin, so I'm pretty happy I played it. Okay, the temple closes automatically. I don't think I want to keep it open. I mean, I could have kept it open. There's 2 blessings left in there, which she could have automatically picked up, but that would have taken an extra turn and whatever. I don't think it's worth it. So, who's up next? Harsk. He's got a henchman waiting for him. And you know what? Why don't I do this throne room ability to get rid of one of the potions? I don't need 2 of them. Okay. Let's encounter this thing. And I guess I might as well use my dagger. And I'll recharge the tiger, because why not? So I need an 8 on those dice. Seems a bit loosey-goosey, but let me think about this. Why don't you use your own Blessing of Lamash too, then? Just to secure the kill. It's probably a bit overkill, but it's fine. I think I have the resources to spare. Then we close the location. And that is a wrap on the throne room. So what is even left? I think Mariziel just closed hers. Harsk just closed his. The Shadow Clock just closed. So it's just the Shadow Tower and the City Gate and the Desecrated Vault. The Desecrated Vault has the villain. I think we can at this point just set up for a temp closing. What's her face? Trap the villain thing. So what's up next? Skinsaw Ritual? You know what? I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to bother. Amiri doesn't have an ally, so she can't close the Shadow Tower. She's just going to go into position here and get ready to fight the villain on her next turn. I feel like that's all I have to do. Somebody can just temp close the other place. Okay, let's take a quick look at that villain again. So it's just a combat 14, combat 17. It'd be nice to have 2 people here so that each one can do 1 check. Although, can Amiri really not handle 2 checks? She can handle 2 checks. She's got enough to do it. That's fine. Okay, so Scylla doesn't really need to be here. In that case, we can have her... Hello? We can have her go over and kill the bandit henchman. She can do that very, very solidly. And that's all she has to do. And then Ezran... I really hope he gets a sage in his hand. He should. Yeah, okay, good. So, let's see. What do we got here? Charmed Faceless Stalker. Let's use the Toxic Cloud, because I'm gonna, end up recharging it anyhow. And let's see, what's next up? Anything good? Blast Stone. Alright, so the answer is no. Let's fight for our rights to party. I don't want to recharge the Sage to improve my Wisdom check, because then I won't be able to close the location. And we'll do a Scorching Ray here. Harsk, you got any arrows? Oh, you sure do. Fire that puppy. So I need an 8 on these 5 dice. That really should be feasible. I'd need an awful lot of 1s to fail that. So we recharge. Don't use the sage. Not that I ever would use the sage on this. And one of the nice things about this place is at least it's a guaranteed close provided you have the correct cards. So still cannot pick up that blast stone. And let me think about this. So Mariziel, what's she doing with her life? Well, she doesn't really want to fight. She'd basically have to be the solo fighting the villain in order for it to be worth it for her to fight. So I guess what she's going to do is just hang out here. And we're going to get rid of a bunch of... Well, I have to be a little careful getting rid of cards because, of course, I don't want to kill her. Let's just get rid of a few. Yeah, it's fine. See if we can get any blessings. We've got a couple. All right. So Linny, she can actually take one of the checks with an inflict. Yeah, whatever. Let's just end this. It's probably more risky this way than if I had Amiri do it, but it's fine. Plus, we have the Blessing of Blemish 2 as the current top blessing, so as long as anybody has any Blessings of the Gods left, we can take care of that. Or we can get 2 dice every time we roll. So Sela, very, very important here. You're holding her off the city gate. Make sure you don't fuck it up. Bastard sword. Flip a thing. So this is actually auto-succeed. It's 4 dice plus 6. Even if they all roll 1s, it's 10. So that's good. And now, the actual battle. Linny should definitely take the first check. Does she want to do the Wisdom 10 or the Combat 14? That's the question. So what does she have here for Wisdom? It's plus 5. Does anybody have a Wisdom thingy-maboob? Strength doesn't help. Rory, Blessing of the Gods. You know what, I think I'm probably overthinking this. I think Linny should just do the combat. So let's pop out the inflict. And we can do the Blessing of Pharasma, which adds 2 dice because I've played a spell. And Harsk has Blessing of the Gods. Let's do that. Let's fire a shot. Yeah, this seems pretty guaranteed. And then Amiri can definitely handle the combat 17. That shouldn't be a problem. Oh god, why am I recharging this? It actually doesn't matter anymore. But there it is. Okay, so let's pass this off to Amiri. Linny could have actually probably made both checks by herself. Who are we kidding here? Let's rage against the machine. Bury this. Harsk can fire an arrow, play a blessing, and shoot a crossbow. Think we did a pretty good job on that. Well, that was a lot of 1s and 2s. Alright, that was kind of low for the pile of dice I was rolling, but there it is! Thanks for watching this series, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Please like and or subscribe if you did. And if you want to stick around for bonus time, let's go ahead and stick around for bonus time. So the rewards are 4 pieces of loot, and because it's the digital version, the 2 characters who don't get a loot piece get some other random card. I'm actually kind of curious to see who gets what. Hide armor of fire resistance. That's pretty lame. But at least we can replace Sela's basic chainmail with it. Impaler of Thorns is a good spear. You can check it out here. What I find weird about this is you can discard it to decrease the difficulty of checks to defeat it by 2, meaning the Bane. So this is kind of interesting. Basically, decreasing the check by 2 is not as good as being able to reroll if you fail. So if you're just fighting a monster, you don't want to use this, like, ever. It's just mathematically wrong. You're better off just playing it, and then if you fail, reroll, than to discard it offhand to decrease the check by 2. However, that does the decrease by 2 thing does have a couple of uses. Number one, if you're Valeros, who recharges weapons instead of discarding them, you can just use this proactively to make the check easier. And just get the card out of his hand if he just wants to get rid of it. And if you're fighting a villain, notice it's interestingly worded. You can discard the card to decrease the difficulty of checks by 2 to defeat it. So if you're fighting a villain with multiple checks, Amiri can use this as her first check, and then the second check will be easier by 2 for anyone who takes it on. So that's like a pretty cool card. Plus, you know, just getting a +2 is really, really solid. So nice card. We'll be putting that on Amiri. I bet he's getting a Sahedron Medallion. Yeah, there it is. So hang on to your Sahedrin medallions. I know it's tempting to throw them away, but once you throw them away, you can't get them back, and you're going to wish you had them. Arrow catching studded leather, so pretty lame side cards, but whatever. In the physical game, you would be getting nothing. So she gets the Medusa Mask. This is a great item. She'll be keeping it. It basically allows you to evade any monster in the game because it doesn't use the word evade. It says you put the monster on top of the card. So even monsters that can't be evaded can essentially be evaded by the Medusa Mask. And then on top of that, the monster ends up being put on top of the deck at the end of the turn. And if you want to, you can even keep exploring past the monster after you evade him. So it's a really, really great card. It is buried on use, but it's not that often you need to use it. So that's going to be great for Linny to have. And then Harsk gets the snakeskin tunic. So there's some interesting things to mention here. So you can reveal it to add 1 to your dexterity check. This is good for Harsk because it lets him buff up his combat checks. However, it's worth noting that if you use this card to buff your combat check, then if you end up failing the check and taking damage, you cannot use the armor property because there's a rule that says you can only play 1 card per type per check. So you can only play 1 armor per check, 1 spell per check, etc. And if you reveal it to add 1 to your combat check, then you've essentially played your armor for the check. And even though damage happens later, it's still the same check, and you could not then play this card. Not because it's the same card, but because it would be like playing an armor card twice. So you have to watch out for that, and if you're concerned about taking damage, don't use it. Also, is it really worth it to have an entire hand slot taken up to just get +1 on your combat checks? Probably not, but it's, nice to have. It's certainly better than any other armor. And then we also get a card feat. So let's go ahead and turn it over to Amiri. What does she want for a card feat? Last time we took blessings. I still don't feel like I really need that many weapons. Items. At this point, you do have to start considering taking items because, there's starting to be some good items coming in. We just got a Sahedrin medallion and the Medusa Mask that are being added. The Masterwork tools just got added. So somebody probably wants to take items somewhere. I don't know if that person should be Amiri, though, because Amiri doesn't really run through her deck that fast. Then again, Ezran's going to be taking spells for sure, because I'm really, really low on spell slots. I'm just so crunched for spell slots, so maybe Amiri should be the one to do it. Let me think about this. Should Harsk do it? Yeah, Harsk can't take any more blessings, so maybe he should take an extra item. Alright, we'll give Harsk an item. We'll give Amiri another blessing. Sela, we'll just give her another blessing. I mean, I could take spells with her, but I think in the third adventure, I'll take the power feat that makes it so that her spells get recharged, and then I can take spell card feats from that point on, and just feel happy about having extra spell slots in the party without having the liability of her discarding extra cards from the top of her deck. Ezran just going to take spells. So Maurizio's interesting. For her, I'm going to actually take allies. I do want to make sure I can hang on to all the cool allies I find, and there are about to be some good ones that are coming in the next adventure. So this might be a mistake, but worst case, I'm just going to discard it to explore, and then I might regret sometimes that it wasn't a blessing to help someone else's check, but I feel like that's the best way to do it. Linny, going to take a spell this time. Really sick of not having room for some spells. I've actually thrown some spells away I would have liked to keep, like agility, so I'm going to have some crappy spells for a while, but I think it's worth it in the long term. So did Amiri give a weapon to Sela? I guess she did. So here's the Impaler of Thorns. Now Sela actually has an extra weapon. The Longsword +1. I mean, the Greatsword is so good. Even though it's not magical, 2d6 is an average of 7. d8 +1 is an average 5.5. Plus, you're rolling 2 dice. So, it's kind of like Longsword adds a +1. This adds, an extra d6, which is a 1 or better most of the time. Well, all the time. I'm going to hang on to the Flaming Mace because the fire, this is metagaming, I'm sorry, pure metagaming. The fire check becomes important later on, so I want to keep the fire weapon. Man, let's keep the magic and see if Amiri wants to throw something away. So Great Axe is a d12 and you can discard it for another d12. This is a 2d6. 2d6 is better than a d12, so at least this is a straight up improvement. Should she get rid of the Glaive for the Great Axe or the Warhammer for the Great Axe? No, much as it feels wrong to do it, I'm going to get rid of that Great Axe. I feel like, I like those magic weapons. Alright, so let's get rid of basic chainmail, give her some leather armor. Masterwork tools, don't want to forget to give that to somebody. Harsk doesn't need this. Alright, so somebody needs to take the Sahedrin medallion. I think that person is Harsk with his extra item slot. And Masterwork tools. Does everybody have Thieves' tools? Yes. 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 Well, you're like, you can't. And yes. Okay, so I don't think anyone should have 2 copies of Thieves' Tools, so we're just going to go ahead and replace one of the regulars with a Masterwork. For Linny, she has to drop an item, which sucks. I mean, I would have liked to give her an item feat, but spells and allies are just so much more important for her. So the Ring of Protection, I think Mauricio has some crappy items still. Tome of Knowledge, I actually would like to hang on to it. Amulet of Mighty Fist is a bit marginal, but would be nice to hang on to. Does anyone have room for that? Harsk. Good old boy Harsk. He's got room. So Snakeskin Tunic, of course, is the keeper. Alright, what else does everybody have to do? So we gotta get rid of these weapons from Linny. I don't want to keep the Allying Dart. She needs to drop down her blessings. Alright, does anybody have Blessings of the Gods left? Good boy, Harsk. Good boy. Alright, she does not need this much armor. Hang on, does the arrow catching studded leather actually better than the elven chain shirt? No, I like the elven shirts because you can reveal them to block damage. I think that's nice. Okay, she's gonna end up taking a basic ally. He's gonna take a basic ally and a basic spell, which is kind of crappy. Sucks to do that. But hopefully we'll find some improvements at some point. Soldier. Oh, geez. Alright, I guess he's gonna keep the soldier because he can actually use it. He actually makes melee checks. Or she can, beg your pardon. And let's do a quick view all. So we got a bunch of magic armor. Let's just make sure no one's trotting around with non-magical armor. Nope, nope, nope. And nope. Okay, good. And we got Thieves' Tools, which I already checked. Great Axe. Sad to let it go, but I feel like it's the best choice. Okay, that's that. Alright, everybody. Oh, wait. We gotta fill this in. So Harsk now has to take a basic spell, which is super sad. I could take another combat spell just for some more security. Now that he does have an extra card in his deck, the concentration of combat spells is just like that much worse. But no, we'll just keep it fun. I'm gonna take it. Oh, is agility basic? Oh wow, I did not know that was. Oh, weird. It's a deck 1 spell, but it's basic. Well, that's great. It's actually the spell that I was so sad about losing earlier, and I'm glad I can keep it. And then for an ally here, we'll just keep it simple. Let's go ahead and take a Troubadour. And wait, Linny got an extra spell slot, but oh god, what is? Oh shoot. Okay, I actually don't know what spell Linny has. Oh, she has Fiery Weapon that she picked up. Right, she has the Fiery Weapon. Tragically, these scenarios are locked. It hasn't been revealed, or it hasn't been released yet, and there's no release date, but we'll keep ourselves entertained with a reject playthrough, which will start tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it again, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.